everybody, and welcome back to the waning coverage of Curious Realm here at PsiGames 2025 in Charlottesville, Virginia. We have the great pleasure of being joined by Dalbus Jordan of dowsing.com. How are you doing today?
Good. I actually did just visit my friend.
Great.
Which I had a really great time.
Good,
I had a sleepover.
Well, you know, that's an important thing whenever you're traveling on the road, to be able to hook up with people that you know, stuff like that. Now, you were actively here. One of my favorite things about PsiGames is that they have participation for children. They're testing mind sight. They're testing all kinds of different psychic abilities with kids at this event. It's so fantastic. Tell us a little bit about the mind sight with the blindfolds that you experienced in the kids' room.
So, whenever I first did it, it just looked black, but there's really actually some kind of hidden window that you're supposed to see, and there's like and it's like, tell me whenever you see the light, and whenever you see the light, you say, I see it, and it's like, then whenever I saw it, it's like, oh my God, I saw that is a red piece of paper, and he said red, and they were like, correct, and then like shapes.
Really?
Closed triangle. And then one time I actually helped somebody do the blindfold.
Okay, so when you were wearing the blindfold, did you see the color before? Did they show you the color before they put the blindfold on you or anything like that?
They put the blindfold on me. And then showed me things with a flashlight so I could see it a bit better. And then then they shined the light.
Shine the light through the mask.
Well, yes, but they also shined the light on the piece of paper.
Okay.
Like, for example...
But your eyes are closed at that point. You can't see the paper, right?
Well, you're supposed to keep your eyes open.
Sure, under the mask, yeah.
So, for example, there's a red piece of paper, they're shining a light on it, and then, you look through the window and you see red.
The window in your mind's eye. Right?
Well, no, the secret window in the blindfold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it's like you see red there, and it's like, then you know it's a red piece of paper.
Interesting. And when you saw the red and the mask or anything, did it make you feel anything? What did you feel when you saw that?
Well, I felt really surprised and really felt like there was something if there was one part, I didn't know there was a window there whenever I first did it.
Okay.
So usually it's just I didn't know, so I just looked through there, and it's like, I didn't really know how. I didn't really know what I felt. It was kind of really surprising that I was able to. So I felt surprised.
Sure, yeah. I mean, did you expect the fact that you would able to, when your eyes are closed and blindfolded, that you would be able to see part of the world around you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually really surprising.
Yeah. Now, what other, when it came to the shapes, when it came to the cards with shapes and things like that, how did that work for you?
Well, how it worked for me is I would hold it and they'd put a shine, the light on it for just like the colors. It's like some of them are open triangle, closed circle. Closed circle means it's colored in black.
Okay.
Open circle means just an outline of a circle.
Okay.
Just an outline.
And were you able to identify those different kinds of shapes from each other?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. And how did that appear when you were in the mask and you couldn't see? How did that appear in your mind?
Well, I saw that through the little window.
Okay.
My eyes weren't really closed.
Oh, yeah. But they're covered with the mask.
Yeah, but they're covered.
Yeah.
With the window. Yeah, but it's like I saw it with the window.
Interesting.
With the window.
And what do you think made that happen? How do you think that worked?
Well, I did actually think it was a window after a few times, and then they told us it was. So that's whenever I found out I was right.
Okay.
So I thought it was a window after a few.
Okay. Okay. And do you think that outside of that situation, that you would be able to do that stuff again?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you think makes you be able to do that stuff? Be able to see through the blindfold and see those things? How do you think that works?
I mean,
Because
how I think it works is there's a window,
sure,
and I found that out. So
sure.
technically, the way is.
And I mean, they were telling you, like, listen to your tummy, like, listen to your gut. You know, you're gonna get impressions in your head.
But it's like they said, like, if you smile, you're able to see through the window easier because it gets a bit bigger and the window gets a bit bigger.
Okay.
And it like pushes it up a bit, which makes it go bigger. If you're not smiling, it's just like the normal size, but this is like not smiling.
Okay. And when you were in there, did you see other kids go through this too? Were all of the kids in the room able to do this, or were there some that weren't?
All of the kids were able to.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? And what do you think that means? That every kid was able to do this?
Well, I was actually teaching one of the kids that after I learned it.
Okay.
So then, actually, I taught them and like I showed them like, tell me when you see the light, and it was like right here on the blindfold, and then I kept showing them colors, but they kept saying I don't see it.
Interesting. So there were kids that were not able to see the color.
Yeah, some kids weren't able to.
Interesting. And what do you think that means, that they weren't able to see the colors the same way you were?
Maybe it's because it might have been the type of blindfold that might have not had the window, or maybe they didn't really see the window.
Sure. Now, did it take you a lot of concentration? Was it hard for you to see these things?
Well, I mean, technically they said for the kids it's a bit easy, but for the adults it takes a really, really, really long time. And it was a kid older than me, so it makes sense.
Okay. And why do you think that it's easier for kids than for grown-ups to use mind sight?
Well, they told me.
What?
Because it's like, well, they told me, and I also found out because it's only like I was able to see it. Like the colors, the shapes, the pictures they also showed me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, like they said, it's harder for grown-ups to do this than kids. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's because usually whenever you grow up, you sometimes actually while you're growing up, like while I'm growing up, sometimes my leg hurts because it's like getting bigger.
Sure.
That keeps happening as it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay.
Of course, while you get older, did you know that actually it actually gets a bit easier for diseases and things to actually get into you?
It absolutely does, most definitely. And, you know, that brings up an important point, and that's the fact that as we grow, our bodies change, our brains change. You know, an example I give regularly is a lot of kids have imaginary friends. Does that necessarily mean that imaginary friend is not real? Just because me as an adult can't believe in that imaginary friend? No, absolutely. You know, so it's an interesting concept to think that when we grow up and when we get older, that we kind of start putting a box around the way our brain thinks and reacts to things. Whereas you as a kid, you don't have 50 years of life putting things in a box for you. You still have imagination in a different way. You still see things and process things in a totally different way than a grown-up does. You know?
Well, I mean, yes, that is true. And, of course, that is really true. And I literally actually did know all that, and yes.
Yes. Yeah, you know, so if you were to tell, let's say you're getting ready to start school, you know, when you go to school and you tell your friends about this, how are you going to explain it to them? How are you going to explain the fact that I was wearing a blindfold and I saw things in the world with my eyes covered. You know, I was able to see them with my brain without my eyes seeing them. How are you going to explain that to them?
I mean, it's really hard. I'm kind of usually going to do it the same way I did it to you because, of course, you believed it.
Sure. But I also believed it because I'm here. I've seen some amazing things here. Yesterday, I saw a girl who is nonverbal. You know, that means that they don't really talk that well. It's very hard for them to talk. So they use what's called a letter board, where they point at letters and spell things out. This girl answered a question that she did not know. The host of the show in there wrote down a question, gave it to somebody in a sealed envelope. She answered the question when they were like, "Do you have the question in your mind?" She spelled out yes. And they were like, "What is the answer to the question?" She spelled out Y-E-L-L-O-W. Yellow.
Yellow.
The question was, what color is the sun? She was able to answer that question without ever hearing it, not even knowing what was written down. That's pretty incredible. That's a totally different level of psychic skill, to be able to know the answer to a question without ever hearing it. You know, to be able to pluck it out of the ether in that kind of way. What do you think about that? What do you think about somebody who has that kind of ability?
I mean, they might be really skilled. I mean, that
Sure.
girl is really skilled. Then.
Yeah. It was pretty incredible. I watched people yesterday using dowsing to find metals that they didn't know where they were. There were people moving things with their mind, all kinds of stuff. It was really fascinating to see these things. How do you think, moving forward in your life, how do you think the lessons that you learned from the blindfold experiments you did, how do you think those will change you and the way that you think about the world all around you?
Well, I mean, it would make sense. I mean, technically they did say it's also because, like, you're able to use your other senses. Smell, hear.
That's right. Yeah. Kind of the way a blind person can hear better than we can, or can feel things better than we can. You know, and it's interesting when you think about that repulsion of electrons that we have in physics, you know, the way that are we actually touching a table, or is that just my electrons and that thing's electrons, you know? Do you think that there are other dimensions, that there are other things out there that we might be able to tap into?
Well, I mean, one time, this is about Ollie again, of course.
Sure.
Like, my friend Ollie was just we like climbed up this little dirt hill at this playground
Sure.
right next to his house, right next to a park.
Yeah.
The park right next to his house, and then
Okay.
we went on a little dirt hill right next to the park,
Okay.
and then we climbed up and he said it was just a new dimension, and he said anything you believe actually will come true in a dimension.
You know, we were just talking about that with Amy Westmoreland a little while ago. The idea of manifestation, the idea of we are connected to the universe around us, and it's kind of like a slinky. If you push it, it comes back. It does other things, you know. So the idea that we can affect the world around us with how we think, that's pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you were to tell any of the other kids out there, what would you want to tell them about their possibility of having psychic powers?
Or possibility? I mean,
Do you think it's something that all of us have the ability to do?
I mean, every single person is always actually be able to do vision without actually using your eye vision.
Yeah, and that's just it. It's something we're kind of like baseball or basketball, where there are some people who pick up a basketball, they're just good at it. there's some people who have to work a little bit, but we can all play basketball if we try, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. We can all have psychic abilities. We all have the ability to do it. It may take some of us longer and a little bit more effort to make it happen, right?
Yeah.
So did you have fun? Was this a great event for you? Would you recommend other kids come to this event and take part in the children's room and the psychic experiments that are going on in there?
Well, I mean,
Or psychic games.
Lots of other kids were in there and
Yeah.
actually was able to.
Would you encourage other kids to come to this conference?
Yes,
Yeah?
I would.
Awesome. Awesome.
Like my friends Liam and Logan.
Totally.
And Saharsh. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time today. I know it's been a very busy day, very busy weekend for you. You're getting ready to go back into the kids' room, maybe play a few more psychic games. I hope you learn a whole lot more, not only about psychic abilities, but about yourself and where those might come from. So thank you so much for your time today on the show.
Okay.
Before we let you go, look right at the camera. Tell everybody where they can go to find out more about Dalbus Jordan and the videos that you make.
Yes. Make sure to go to dowsing.com and subscribe to Curious Realm and mine.
That's right. Thank you so much for your time again, young man. While you are online checking out everything from dalbusvideo.com, make sure to stop on by curiousrealm.com. Like, follow, subscribe. Make sure to get your copy of the Field Observation and Encounter Log, as well as the all-new Remote Viewing Session Journal, both of them available at curiousresearch.org. When we come back from this quick commercial break, we will continue with our waning coverage of PsiGames 2025 right here in Charlottesville, Virginia, right after this.
The key to good science is good research. At the heart of good research is a good data set. With the Field Observation and Encounter Log from Curious Research, you can easily keep track of your investigative information all in one place, making it easier to review cases and readily see comparisons and contrasts between them. Whether out in the woods squatching, in a back room gathering EVPs, or using high-tech gear to track UFO, UAP activity, this easy-to-carry, pocket-sized scientific data log is the perfect companion for any field researcher. You can find your copy of the Curious Research Field Observation and Encounter Log at Amazon.com or visit the official Curious Realm store at curiousrealm.com/store to reserve your copy for yourself, your family, or a mind that you want to open. That website again is curiousrealm.com/store.